Hello guys, welcome back to Avanishville. Today I'm going to be ranking every Mario Kart World item, and this is part of the Will's Mario's Rank series. So last time I did a ranking video, which was yesterday. I didn't put I forgot to say the rules at the beginning, so I'm going to be saying the rules right now. So the rules are simple. I'll rank these items based on how useful they are and how fun they are to use. It's pretty simple, really simple. So if they make it I'm obviously going to put some broken items at the higher than some non-broken items, but fun factor is also added. So without further ado, let's get into it. At number 28, because there's actually more items in Mario Kart World than in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 28 is the coin. While the coin item is still a good item, with all the other items in this game, it has to be in the bottom position. And while you cannot get another coin item when you have a coin, you can get a coin shell or a question block as your second item. When use this item gives you 2 coins and a little speed boost, make this item a pretty good item, but that is about it. So in my Mario Kart Deluxe ranking, this was actually in 21st place, because 2 other items were actually worse. I felt like than this, and one of them is better in this game by a big margin. The other one isn't even in this game. So yeah. So I have nothing to say about this. It's a pretty good item, honestly. Giving you a tiny speed, even if it's a tiny speed boost. Even getting a speed boost is good, and giving you 2 coins rather than just 1 is also pretty good. And you can't get another coin item, but Mario Kart World does have other ways to get coins. So yeah. At number 27 is the question block. The question block is basically many coin items together, and you will have to repeatedly mash the item button to get as many coins as you can possibly get, with coins going behind you that other players can collect. This is basically the coin item on steroids, but also has a downside of hogging your item slots. So this is on a timer, so it's like a timer item. It's those blocks in the Mario platformers, where some of them you had to keep on pressing them to get coins, and if you stop pressing the jump button to get them, they'll have less coins. It's kind of like that because it's on a timer. If you're too late, you might not get as many coins, and when you do the final jump on to this, it gets destroyed, I guess, leaving even more coins at the back. So it won't be useful for you, it'll just be useful for the people behind you. Or if you're in 24th place, or a kind of a behind position, I don't think it would help anyone either. Yeah. I think you're gonna get this item in a little bit lower position than the coin. So, but it's not too much lower. It's kind of around 5th place probably, around that area. So yeah. At number 26 is the Kamek. The Kamek item is a new item like the question block item, but instead of giving you coins, it sends a flying Kamek to turn all the players ahead of you to turn into a certain enemy, as well as creating more of those enemies that will be created in front of those players, giving them a bit of a challenge. That sounds useful, but the challenge only makes it a bit more difficult, and there are way better ways of slowing down your opponents. So the Kamek item, when you use everyone in front of you, I'm pretty sure. It could be behind, but it's probably in front of you, because I used this when I was in 1st place once, and I don't think anything happened, but I don't know what happened, but anyway. So let's say it turns your opponents that are in front of you into a Goomba, and then ahead of the person in 1st place, it'll be a bunch of Goombas spawning that will chase you, giving you a bit of a challenge. But I wouldn't say that challenge is big enough to actually slow down your opponents. Only if your opponents are really bad, where they will accidentally drive in, or just have bad control, so they drive into a Goomba. So yeah. Number 25 is the Blooper. I don't know why it says number 27, but Anyway, that this item works exactly like it did in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where all other players except you will be covered in ink and block their field of vision. The only difference between this and Mario Kart Deluxe's version of this item is that the ink in this version isn't higher quality, which I don't think does anything. Also, the ink doesn't block your entire field of vision and only the middle sections, which makes it only a little difficult to see where you're going. So I feel like the blotches of ink in this game are a bit easier to see than in Mario Kart Deluxe, but because the design of the ink splats, and I feel like Mario Kart Deluxe's version did a better job than Mario Kart World. So that's just my opinion. That's just how I see it, but this could just be better than that. But number 24 is the hammer. The hammer item is 1/4 of the power-up items that attack players in front of you. 1/4 as in the hammer, and this 1/4 of the power-up items are including the hammer, the boomerang, the fire flower, and the ice flower. This item, in many opinions, is the worst of these items because because when you use it with like an arc, which makes it more difficult to aim and makes you spin the item button so you have a chance of hitting your opponent. For some reason, you can also use this item behind you, but I probably would use it for opponents in front of you. So it's more like an offensive than defensive, because it's really hard to aim in the when you're using it forward anyway. So I don't think doing it behind you, unless they're literally right behind you, it would. And I don't think if it's right behind you, I'll probably just go over them. But yeah, there's basically 0% chance of hitting your opponents from behind. But the only good thing is that this hammer is actually a bit of a super long range, because if you don't throw just one hammer, it's like a row of hammers all at once, even though they don't all fall at the same time. It's like a wave. And number 23 is the Boomerang Flower. I know in Mario Kart Deluxe I put Boomerang Flower ahead of the Fire Flower, but anyway, the Boomerang Flower item acts just the way it does in 3D World, Bowser's Fury, and 3D Land, except you can only use 3 times when you have it. The aiming, in my opinion, is better than the Fire and Ice Flowers, but they don't have a limit to how many you can throw, which is what makes it lower than them. So I put that ahead because of its aiming, even though both these have timers. Kind of, but the Boomerang doesn't strictly run on timers, but more runs on 3 throws and that's it. While the Fire and Ice Flowers they just have a timer, but they don't have a limit to how many you can throw. So yeah. At number 22 is the Fire Flower. The Fire Flower item is similar to the Boomerang Flower, except you don't have a limit to how many you can throw, and there's a time limit instead. And even if it is harder to aim than a Boomerang Flower, I'd rather spam the item button than carefully aiming it instead of going to the off-road because I wasn't paying attention on driving. So I would say aiming would probably be the worst thing to do. Try to do. I wouldn't say it's the worst, but I wouldn't say it's a really good thing to do. Because the aiming is what direction you're facing. So just because your opponent is in the off-road doesn't mean you have to aim it at the off-road. You can just go around and just probably even beat them without even using the item. Then you can have your item used for defense. But yeah, I wouldn't throw this behind you and the Boomerang Flower and the Ice Flower anyway. So yeah, I would say the spamming the balls, so the Fire Flower ball, the fireballs and the ice balls, they bounce around and maybe turn directions and stuff, like because of the wind or something, or like the way it bounced, which makes it a bit better. But yeah. And number 21, which is basically the exact same thing, is the Ice Flower. The Ice Flower item is basically the same thing as the Fire Flower, but I prefer the Ice Flower's aesthetics and what happens when you hit someone with it, as it will temporarily freeze them. The difference between the Ice and Fire Flowers are just aesthetic differences. I just prefer the Ice Flower or the Fire Flower. Like, that's really it. Like, there's nothing different. It's just, I guess you have a more chance of getting a flower, like a flower item, I guess, now. Instead of like 3, instead of like 2, it's like 4 now. I said, well, no. Well, hammer isn't a flower, but you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like this is the best one. I would say in terms of usefulness, it's the same as, it's tied with the fire flower, but funness, I feel like the ice flower, I just like it better. And yeah. At number 20 is the banana. The banana item is a classic Mario Kart item, and it does what you expect it to do. It makes the person who hit it so to skid and lose 3 coins, and making them stop for about a second or two, which gives you just enough time to pass them, making this a pretty good item. So from now on, all these items, they are pretty, like, very awesome, very good, very viable. And some of these items you can actually get in first, like the higher, like in a better position, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, that kind of situation. So bananas are really good. They're a pretty good offensive item, even and a pretty good defensive item. Because you can hold it behind your back. I mean, obviously in Mario Kart World, everything is already held in the back anyway, but you can also throw it behind you and it'll actually be viable in this case. Throwing it forward, I wouldn't say is the banana specialty, even though it's what you meant to do. I feel like bananas are more, some of these items are better for defense than offense, even though they're more meant for offense, because when you throw it forward, but then you have a chance of hitting it yourself because it just stays there and you could just go in that direction and you're too late to like go some other direction, like to change directions. But number 19 is the coin shell. This item is a new item originating in Mario Kart World, and this is a good item for both coins and being able to hit your opponents. But this is worse than a green shell because it sits its own path going in the middle, which usually is the place where most people drive, but some people also drive on the sides, which then only makes this item good for coins. And sooner or later, this item will either break because of a player or because of air. As in because of air because it has like a time limit for how long it's there. Because it goes in the middle, so either it hits a player. I don't think it can break with a player, but it could. Or it could just go through them, like not like hit them and just like bulldoze away, like a bull maybe. So this is a pretty good item for like offense. I wouldn't say it's meant for defense because this is a coin shell, which means if you use it, you get coins, which is probably its main purpose, to collect the coins, but also might be able to hit the people in front of you. But yeah, there's nothing more to say. And number 18 is the Bob-Omb. Bob-Ombs got better in Mario Kart World from Mario Kart Deluxe because now you can hold this item behind you when a red shell is coming without fearing about it exploding and affecting you, because it doesn't. This item just basically breaks physics. I feel like this is better than the banana. So the explosion is really good because it's a bigger radius, so even if you are in the radius, I would still say it's better because more people can get hurt if you still didn't get stop, even if you didn't get hit. Like, even if you did get hit, more people would also slow down. So, yeah. And this is pretty good defense too now, unlike Mario Kart Deluxe, where the best thing to do with it for defense was throw it behind you at the right time. Because holding it behind you actually does physics. Like, and also exploding it with the explosion also affecting you. So at number 17 is the green shell. This item may seem like the coin shell, but worse because it doesn't leave coins. But in my opinion, it is better because you can aim the green shell opposed to the coin shell's set path, and it's more common to get it. You can get this item in third and second place for sure, and maybe even first place too. Opposed to the worst position you had to be in to get the coin shell, which in my opinion is just worst. So this is more easier. So this is harder to get than the banana, but it's also way easier to get than the coin shell. The coin shell only appears in a way worse situation, like around the back position. This could I'm pretty sure this can go in first. You can get it in first place, definitely in second and third for sure. It's a pretty solid item, so nothing to worry about. Defense equals to banana. Offense better than banana. So it's like a better version of banana. At number 16 is the red shell. The red shell item is basically a green shell on steroids. As it homes on to the nearest target, she's usually the person in front of you. She's awesome because if you're close to the person ahead of you, you can use it and pray to God that they can't block it. Like, they don't have an item behind them that can actually destroy, like stop the red shell, then go past them when they get hit. She's a huge plus of aiming at yourself. Like I said, aiming is not the best thing to do in Mario Kart World or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So not aiming, well, it I guess reduces the skill level you need to be in. And the fact that this is rarer than the green shell, because it's just the better item. It's still pretty good. I've used it many times in my videos, and when I'm having fun with my friends or just playing with playing Mario Kart Deluxe or Mario Kart World, like that's not in the video, but yeah, very good item, better than solid, definitely. Yeah. Now we're entering the top 15. So from now on, these items are just like better than the items before, obviously, because they're just in a better position, but also all these items are very, very, very viable. So yeah. Number 15 is the triple banana. This item is a defensive version of the banana because the triple banana defends you from every single direction and it circles around. You also have 3 offensive items. This is just 1 if you're using it for offense. So while I got hit and gotten affected by items while having a triple banana for some reason, I think it was in Mario Kart Deluxe. But it should be pretty good for defense, and pretty good is an understatement, I think. It's amazing for defense. It's like 3 offensive items, which is also just better than 1 banana, and also has superb defense, just way out of the regular bananas league. So yeah. And number 14 is a triple green shell. This item is combining the triple banana and the green shell to give you 3 green shells, which is just as good as the triple banana, but better offense in most ways than the banana, which makes this item better. So what do I mean by most ways? And this also is also true for regular banana and regular green shell, is that the banana stays there until someone either hits it or like it just disappears, because like it can't just stay on the track forever. So while there is a more chance of getting hit by your own banana than getting hit by your own green shell, well, it kind of is. I would say the green shell, it has better offense overall because it goes straight. Less chance of hitting you technically, and it's just easier. There's a more chance of hitting someone that's in front of you, because well, the banana goes in an arc and it could go ahead of the person in front of you, which would cause them to actually hit it. But most of the times, they're probably far enough ahead that even throwing the banana, it wouldn't really do anything, because they're already ahead of the banana's trajectory. At number 13 is the triple red shell. The triple red shell item is basically a triple green shell item, but has red paint, like you can see. But that is how it looks like physically, but in terms of specialty, that is farther from the truth. The triple red shell item is 3 red shells, so the best offense in the triple items, sort of, but the best defense tied with the triple banana and triple green shell, which makes this item awesome. So offense, sort of, because speed items count as offense, kind of, because sort of, because they boost your speed, which means you're gonna be farther ahead. But then an offense item, as in this sense, like the best item, the triple items would be like attacking someone, opposed to just getting further from someone. So it's sort of. So if we're talking about the speed boost, I would say triple mushroom would be the better offense item. But in terms of overall, I would technically say triple red shell, because offense in this term would be actual offense opposed to just a speed boost. And yeah, and and this also applies to every single triple item. You can use it anytime you want. You don't need to use all 3 of them at the same time or anything. You get to wait. Though for the defense, it does get worse. For for the triple banana, triple green shell, and triple red shell. Because there's one opening, and they circle around too. You too. With the worst defense from these guys being worse than a regular defense for the regular versions, because there's one and it's circling you, so there is a chance that it might defend you, but there's also a bigger chance that it actually won't defend you, even though you have it. And also, there's so many alsos, but the triple items, when you have a blue shell, they get destroyed, which means you will not have them. This is also Mario Kart Deluxe, but for single items, you will still keep them when you get hit by a blue shell. And number 12 is dash food. The dash food item isn't a traditional item, as they have their own item box or package, because this doesn't come in an item box, because this image right here is technically the package, but all the things that you get from it is the same. So this is like a less good version of a mushroom. Using this item may allow you to get a new costume for certain characters. Consuming food allows you to unlock new costumes. The food also gives you a boost, which makes it sound like a mushroom with extra perks. The boost is a smaller boost than the mushroom. You also cannot dodge a blue shell with this item. So this is not an item that you can like dodge the blue shell with, unlike the mushroom. Just because it's slower, and also because you can't dodge a blue shell with the boost panel either. It has to be a mushroom. So yeah, it's like a worse version of a mushroom, but if you're thinking 100% completion, it's a better version of the mushroom. And number 11 is the feather. You might be wondering, if the feather item is in last place in Mario Kart Deluxe items, why is it not last place in Mario Kart World? That is a good question. So the feather, even in Mario Kart Deluxe, is a good item. It could have been higher, but it's what it's restricted to. So Mario Kart Deluxe, it was restricted to only battle mode, where the jumping ability only is good for dodging attacks like red shells and green shells and bananas and Bob-Ombs, technically, I guess. Jumping over, and I would say the best thing to do wouldn't be dodging these items or like escaping these items, but to use this for shortcuts. And for battle mode, it's not really a race where shortcuts, you need to use shortcuts. There wouldn't really be a shortcut in battle mode because it's a circular field anyway, but it also makes it worse because sometimes just jumping over like a rail, I guess, would just be worse. But the feather item in this game is in all of the game modes, opposed to just battle mode in Mario Kart Deluxe. But not only that, you can also dodge green shells and red shells, and if you can do that in Mario Kart Deluxe. There are even feather shortcuts where you specifically use feather to take a shortcut instead of a mushroom, which is just awesome. So while most feather shortcuts you can take with mushrooms, mushrooms don't give you a jump. Well, technically they give you a higher jump because they're in higher acceleration, so that allows you to like leave the ground, I guess, like jump longer. But the feather was made just for jumping, so you can take these crazy shortcuts with the feather along with being able to jump in midair anyway, which just makes this item even more better than Mario Kart Deluxe. Even if they're both in the same use case, I would still say the feather in this item is better because of all the mechanics in Mario Kart World. And now we're entering the top 10. So all these items, most of them are speed boost like items or some sort of special item that you would not usually get unless you're in a kind of a bad position. But that's the reason why these items are this good. But anyway, what better way to start a top 10 than with the speedy mushroom. The mushroom item is the same, just like any game. It gives you a speed boost that is bigger than the speed boost you get with the dash food. This allows you to take some big shortcuts on off-road, which is amazing. An additional thing you get with this item is that you can dodge a Spiny shell with a mushroom, which is just awesome. So there's nothing to say. It's basically a pretty basic item. All you do is get a speed boost. Pretty basic item in racing games, definitely. But that just makes it a pretty good item too. And number 9 is the triple mushroom. The triple mushroom is basically 3 regular mushrooms, which gives you the perks of 3 speed boosts all at once or in 3 different places. The ability to take bigger off-road shortcuts because of 3 speed boosts, which added up lasts longer than 1 speed boost. So 1 mushroom gives you a total speed boost of 1.5 seconds, and 3 times 1.5 is 4.5 seconds. So that's actually pretty good. 3 times more. So that's really good. So you can take bigger shortcuts, and you can take the same shortcut just in each lap. So 3 laps, that shortcut, 1 mushroom, and use 1 mushroom per round. It can take you to first place maybe, or at least a pretty good position. And number 8 is the golden mushroom. The golden mushroom is basically multiple triple mushrooms combined to make one single item. The only downside to this compared to a triple mushroom is you have to use it all at once, because this item is on a time limit. You can spam the item button to get as many speed boosts as you can get in that time limit. So this allows you to take enormous shortcuts, which in this game is better because intermission tracks have these long vasts of off-road that you can't usually take with a single mushroom or a triple mushroom. So I would say, while the core isn't as good, while the core is equal to Mario Kart Deluxe's variant, Mario Kart World makes it better. Not necessarily a buff or anything. It's just the change in how you play tracks normally. So yeah, the only downside to this, which makes the triple mushroom better, is that triple mushroom, because most shortcuts don't need to use this big boosts, which just makes it worse, and you only need a single mushroom. And a triple mushroom can do that, except you can do it for 3 laps opposed to just 1 for like about 9 seconds with the golden mushroom. And most shortcuts just aren't that big anyway. But anyway, golden mushroom is still better. And number 7 is the boo. The boo item is a bit more complicated than regular item because it does 2 very different things. The main thing it does is steal items from people in front of you. When you are in first place with the boo item, you get an automatic mushroom because this item only steals items from people in front of you. And we're in first place. I don't think people are in front of you unless they're like in 0th place, which isn't even possible anyway. Which is pretty good because you get a free speed boost that you can use on a shortcut. The second thing it does is, honestly, might be even better, is when you use it, it makes you invincible for a short amount of time. This allows you to dodge the shock, which is absolutely insane. So this item is one of the 4 items that can dodge the shock. So that's pretty good because the shock is a pretty insane item. It's like the boo but better, technically, because it doesn't make you invincible, but it does the boo's job better. And number 6 is the Mega Mushroom. The Mega Mushroom item is a returning item that was in Mario Kart Deluxe, and this is basically the star item, but does its job a little differently. When used, it still takes up space in your item slot, but it makes you invincible, makes you into a giant, which also allows you to squish your opponents, and able to easily take some shortcuts that are easier with something that makes you bigger. This item also gives a big speed increase that stays until the Mega Mushroom timer runs out. A bad thing about this, unlike the star item, which doesn't do that, it doesn't give you as big of a speed boost. But a bad thing about this item, however, is that it takes up the item slot until the timer runs out, and because of that, you only have a 1 chance of getting a pretty good item, or you're not even gonna get 2 items anyway. So yeah, this item is like a bullet bill but worse. We're now entering the top 5. So now these are going to be really good, but number 5 is basically the Mega Mushroom, just a little better in my opinion. And that is the star. The star item is similar to the Mega Mushroom, but it is also different. It makes you invincible like the Mega Mushroom, but the speed increase you get is less than Mega Mushroom, but you can still take shortcuts without any speed loss. This item doesn't make you big like a Mega Mushroom, which means you can't squish people. What makes this item better is that it doesn't hog the item slot when you use it on your time limit. It doesn't show you the time limit. Therefore, it doesn't take up the item slot, so it doesn't stay in your item slot. So you're free with 2 different item slots. It opens both of the item spots if this is the only item you have. And you're more likely to get a speed item like a golden mushroom because you have 2 item slots empty. Because I think there's a 50% chance more of getting a good item compared to a mega mushroom. I think it's I know. Which means you technically go faster with the star, making this item a little better than mega mushroom. And number 4 is the Spiny shell. The Spiny shell item, or more commonly known as a blue shell, is a complicated item with the fact that some people think this is the best item and some thinking this isn't as good as people might think. First place is in the middle of those 2 opinions. The reason why is because while attacking first place and hitting other players that are in the Spiny shell's way is good, it doesn't benefit you. Probably got this item in a bad position to get closer to first place. Unless you're somewhat close to first place to get to pass first place when they get hit. The Spiny shell item is a great item, but the main thing it does only helps people that are in the top 5. That does not include the first place person. So what I mean by when you're not is that someone else uses it, but you are somewhat close to first place, so somebody technically helped you. But when you have it, I don't think it's a good because you probably use it right when you get it or something, or around the time you get it, and around that time you get it, probably like in a bad position. So yeah. And now we're entering the top 3. So now these items are even better than top 5, because they're in a higher position. But also these are top-notch items. And starting off at number 3 is the bullet bill. At number 3, the bullet bill item is basically the mega mushroom but better, because it can save you when you fall. It auto steers, though you do have some control, which can help you cut some corners. Goes faster than the mega mushroom, and this item is also faster than the golden mushroom. If you didn't pass anyone with the bullet bill, it goes into its extension phase, which will give you 6 more seconds of bullet bill time, which is just amazing. So this is like the mega mushroom, just better, like way better, like 2 times is better in terms of like this list. So invincibility, making you big boy. Doesn't technically allow you to make shortcuts because it mostly auto steers, with you leaving you just a little bit of control, which means you can't really take like these corner shortcuts or anything. Though you can cut some corners, so you can save a little bit of time, which is good, but nothing too fancy. Faster than the golden mushroom, which is literally the second fastest item, I'm pretty sure. Even faster than the mega mushroom. I would say the 3rd fastest is the mega mushroom, because that boost stays on forever, forever, as in the sense of until you used it up. But yeah. And number 2 is the super horn. The super horn item is the only item that can not only let you escape a Spiny shell, but break the Spiny shell, which means this is basically the best item you can have in first place. This item doesn't just work on Spiny shells, but also works on bananas, green shells, and red shells, as well as damaging your opponents that are in range of the super horn's blast. This makes this item an amazing item that can destroy the 2nd most dreaded item in Mario Kart, that being the blue shell, even though it's only in 4th place. Now, if you play Mario Kart and you know all the items, then you know what's in first place, because I've said every single item. If you don't play Mario Kart but are watching this video anyway, well, you're in for a surprise, because number 1 is the lightning. The lightning item is the most dreaded item in Mario Kart, and for good reason. Like I said, this is basically the blue item but better, unless you're talking about invincibility. But you probably don't need invincibility anyway when you use it. It makes every player except you drop all of their items and makes them lose 3 of their coins, like other attack items. So the items could be other attack items, and only 4 items in Mario Kart World can dodge a shock: the boo, the mega mushroom, the star, and the bullet bill. And all of those items are really rare to get, and to make matters worse, only 1 person can have lightning at any one time. Also, what I learned recently was that the lightning only appears in item boxes after 30 seconds of the race, and once someone uses it, there's a 30-second time before someone can get it again in an item box. So that's pretty good. Doesn't make it like overused again and again and again and again. So like over like in a row, because first of all, only one person can have it at any time, any one time. And second of all, you can just like get the lightning as soon as someone uses it, and you'll have a 30-second limit. Like there's a 30-second time limit before someone can get it. So yeah, thank you. So this video it doesn't take as long to create this presentation as yesterday's video that took 1 hour 9 minutes to just make the video, and took so much time just to make it. Took me a few days because I can't just be using the whole day on it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, as I'd really appreciate it. Also, please share this video with your friends and family, as I would get more views and potentially more subscribers, but more importantly, more people would enjoy my videos. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.